Hello everybody, I am the Home Tech Guy, and today I'm going to show you how to save passwords, how to access your passwords, and how to use them for later in your Chrome browser, your Firefox browser, and your Safari browser. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to open up a Google Chrome browser down here at the bottom, and I'm at google.com right here. And I'm going to show you where passwords are stored. This is something that I show people all the time, and it's very useful because it's a place where your passwords are stored if you choose to let the browser save them for you. And what that means is each time you sign in to a new website and you have allowed the browser to save passwords, to save your logins, then it will pre-fill the passwords, the username and the passwords for you. So I'm going to show you where to go. So we're going to come up here at the top right corner, and we're going to go ahead and click on these three buttons, which is a menu. And this is going to give us our settings down here. We're going to go ahead and click on settings. And this is going to bring up all of the settings for the Chrome browser. And in this list of settings, I am going to find at the top here with this little key, passwords. I'm going to go ahead and click on this bar here, and this is going to take me to where my passwords are. And I save lots of passwords. This is fantastic because everywhere I go, whenever I log into Google Chrome, I have passwords to all of my websites. And so what I'm going to do is show you how to view these passwords that you've saved. But first of all, you need to check this button right here and turn this on to allow your browser to save passwords. So it is going to offer to save passwords every time you go to a website where you have to log in and you haven't saved a password yet. So tick that on right there, and also tick this little button here that is auto sign in to automatically sign you into websites using the stored credentials that you have down here based on what you've entered for those website login credentials. And so here are my saved passwords down here. And if I want to look up a password and I want to see what my password is, all I have to do is come up here to the top to this search passwords box right here, and I can type in Chase Bank, for instance, and it's going to show at the top my username right here, the website Chase Bank, and my password is hidden. And if I want to show my password, I'm going to click this little I right here. I'm not going to show you that password right now, but I'm going to show you a password that I've used before that is a password that is inactive right here. So let's say this is the website right here, and here is a password, and all I have to do is click this little I right here, and as I hover over it, it shows me a little show password fly out, and I'm going to click on that right there, and immediately I get this box here. And the reason I get this is because I have a password for my Mac. If you don't have a password here for your Mac, your login password that you use when you turn on your Mac, or your PC. This is a Mac here, but if you have a PC, if you have a login password, when you reboot your machine and it boots up and you have to type in a password, this is the password you would type there. The username and the password. This is pre-filled right here. So I'm going to go ahead and type the password that I have here. It's a very simple one, and I'm going to hit enter, and that's going to show me this password here. So these passwords are password protected by the password of your browser, of the password of your computer or your Mac. So that's how to find those passwords and see those. Now, if I wanted to remove this particular password, all I would do is click these three little dots, and I would click remove. If I click details, it's going to give me the website address, username and password right here. And let's say I want to get rid of this, I just have to click these three little dots and click remove, and that little username password entry will go away. So that's where those are, and I'm going to give you an example of where I would use that. I'm going to go to google.com here and just open up a page. I'm going to type up here investors.com. So I just signed up with an account with investors.com, Investors Business Daily, and I have a login. I just signed up, but I didn't allow the browser to save my password yet, so I'm going to go and click sign in right here at the top right. Sometimes it's difficult to see where the sign in is, but it's usually at the top right of web pages, or the top up in the middle here. I'm going to go ahead and click on sign in, and it's going to ask me to enter that information in here. And I have not saved this information in the browser yet. I have not chosen to save this username and password yet. So here's my username here. I'm going to type it in really quick, and then I'm going to enter the password that I have saved, that I know, my super secret password, and I'm going to hit submit. And here's the box that I'm going to get because I ticked the little box that says offer to save passwords that I just showed you. Now it's offering me to save a password. Save password, question mark. Username is my email address, and here's the password. And yes, I want to click save so that it saves it in the list. Passwords are saved in your Google account so you can use them on any device. So I have a login for the browser as well, and I can show you that later, but this is the most important part here. So I'm going to click save, and when I do that, first of all, I'm signed in, and I can see that by my name, CW, up here. I'm signed in, and I can choose to sign out right here if I want. And so I'm going to go ahead and click this and sign out, and I'll show you what happens next time I try to sign in. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight, I'm going to open up a new tab up here, and I'm going to go to these little three dots again. I'm going to show you where I went to passwords just one more time. I'm going to click on the menu, click on settings, and here's where the passwords are. I'm going to click on passwords, and I'm going to go up here in the top right, up here in the top search box, and I'm going to type in investors, and there is my login right there. And if I click this, it would show me what that password is, and sometimes it'll look a little bit different here. It'll change it to a different name, but if I typed in investors.com, this is the same thing as typing investors.com. So it is now saved in my browser. So I'm going to go ahead and close settings, and this time when I go to sign in, I'm going to click sign in, and when this window comes up, then my username and password are going to be pre-filled in here, and all I have to do is click submit. And I often like to check a box here, keep me logged in, if the website offers to do that, just so that I can stay logged in if I visit this web page frequently. So I can click submit here, and that will go ahead and log me in. The place where those that is also available, if I click the back button here, there is a little key that shows up at the top right up here in the search box. And if I sign out again, and I go to sign in again, when this sign in box comes up here, when it pre-fills this information, notice at the very top this little key up here. When I scroll over it, it says manage your passwords. So let's say I typed the password in and it was incorrect. I can click this, and I can click here to manage passwords, and this will take me to the same place we were just before, where all the passwords are. So that's how to do that in the Google Chrome browser. I'm going to show you how to do that in Firefox. I'm going to go ahead and open up a Firefox browser. This is a Firefox logo. I'll show you what it looks like here. It's this little Firefox logo here. So I'm going to open up a Firefox browser window, and I am also going to show you where to find the passwords for the Firefox browser. It's a slightly different place. If I open the menu, it's very similar. There's a menu over here, a little hamburger menu they call it. 3 little lines. I'm going to click up there, and I'm going to get a menu just like before. This time I'm going to click on Preferences with the little gear icon here. When I click on Preferences, here comes all of the preferences for the browser, and the one I'm interested in is Privacy and Security, because that's where the passwords are. I'll click on that, and I'm going to scroll down a little ways to logins and passwords. And this box needs to be ticked right here. Ask to save logins and passwords for websites. This is going to be the same thing as the Google Chrome browser, where it asked me to offer whether I wanted to store the passwords in the browser. So it's asking me to save the login, and here are all of the saved logins. Now this browser treats passwords differently in that it saves these passwords and lets you see them automatically unless you use a master password. If you use a master password, this is like using the login password that I mentioned before. If you have a master password, then you need to use this first before it lets you see your saved logins. So in the Firefox browser, you can click on saved logins and see all of your logins without having to log into your computer with your Mac login or your PC login information. So here are all of my saved logins right here, and I am just going to pick on one here. And let's say I want to find the password for my Nadex account. I'm going to type it in the search box up at the top here. And there it is there. And if I go ahead and click this here, and I click show passwords, it's going to show the passwords. I'm going to remove this one down here. And that allows me to remove these things. And I'm going to click show passwords here, and it will show my passwords after I confirm yes, and it will show my password right here. And that's the password that is stored in the browser for that particular website. So that's where those are. I'm going to click the Xbox, close this down, and close this here. And I am going to go to investors.com again and show you how this behaves on this browser. So here's that website, Investors Business Daily, and here is my login information up here. I was logged in already a minute ago, so I'm going to sign out, and it will log me out. And now I'm going to log back in. I'm going to click the sign in button up here, and because I ticked that box that said save logins, when I go ahead and click that, it's going to ask me. I haven't saved this username and password yet. I haven't saved this username and password in the browser yet, so I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to log in. Oh, okay. Gotta spell correctly here. Finger's not working. Okay. Super secret password. And I also tick keep me logged in on this so that it keeps me logged in, and I'm going to click submit. And here is the box that is asking me to save the login on this browser. So this is a little bit different than the Google browser. So there's the information. It shows dots for my password. I can click show password if I want, and I can click save here. And if I click save, it's going to save the password in the browser. And I'll show you where that is really quick. I'll come over to here again to this little menu and go to preferences and back to my privacy and security, and scroll down to my passwords. There are my saved logins. And if I type in investors, there it is right there. And if I click show password, it will show the password for this website right here. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this. And now I'm going to show you how to do this in the Safari browser. It's slightly different. I'm going to click on Safari down here and open up an Apple page. And I am going to show you where to save passwords here. Settings for the Safari browser are in Preferences. So you would come up here to the top left of the screen next to the Apple and click on Safari and click on Preferences. That's where all of the settings for the browser live. So I click on Preferences, and in this box here, it normally comes right to the General tab. The general tab here, and I'm going to click on the Passwords tab right up here where the key is. And this is telling me that passwords are locked. To unlock passwords, enter the password for my user login for the Mac. So my Mac login, I'm going to enter that password here. And here are all my usernames. And if I'm looking for, and here all my passwords are hidden. And if I want to find my account online, for instance, then there that one is, and I can click details for that, and it will show me the username and password. The username is blanked out because there is no username on this particular website that I saved. So the password here is here. So this will also show passwords for that. So then I can close this down. Now I'll show you what happens when I go to investors.com again one more time, and it's going to ask me to log in. And again, it's up here on the top right. I'm going to click on sign in, and here I go to the username and password section, and I'm going to type that in here. Oops. Very good. My super secret password. And I'm going to also keep this box ticked to keep me logged in. I'm going to click submit. And here is how Safari asks you. It says, would you like to save this password in your iCloud keychain for autofill on all your devices? And I can click save password here. And if I do that, then next time when I come to this website, it will be saved for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and log out right here, or sign out, same thing. Very good. I'm going to come up to Safari up here at the top left to look at my preferences, and again, this is the tab that you would normally see. I'm going to click on passwords, and it's asking me for my Mac login, so the login information I use when I turn on the machine and I log into my machine. And I'm going to type in up here investors, and there it is. Now it's saved in here. That's my username, and there's the password saved there. And if I wanted to click that, then it would show me what that password was. So there you go. That's how to save passwords for the Google Chrome browser, the Firefox browser, and the Safari browser. And if you like this video, then go ahead and subscribe to it, subscribe to my channel, and I will continue to upload videos about content just like this, and I will be covering topics like how to interact with the browser and have it do other things as well, how to customize it, and how to change things on the browser to make it do exactly what you want. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.